Okay, good morning everyone. So we are going to study. Yeah, we are going to study with the because we are done with the syllabus. We'll have a revision of module one only because that is important for your class test sessional first sessional, which will be of 20 marks next week. Yeah, so I think this will be an online examination only for because you people can't be physically present, and MCQs will be required. So for because we have not got the circular yet, but I think the MCQs only will be there, but still be prepared. So for MCQ, that is why we are revising the first module. Okay, so we'll be studying something about in the last class we have seen what the basic definition of governance, then basic concepts related to the governance and IT, like the roles and responsibilities. And today we are going to check the difference between the management and the governance. So as we have studied earlier too, that this management and governance, though they sound synonyms, but they are not. Management and governance are two different things. The like the rules that are given by the governance is basically implemented by the management. So let's see now. Just let me share the FL material. Have a reference. Okay. So you can see here the governance process basically include the roles and responsibility of the people. So by that we mean that what will be the because in an organization there will be various roles. Suppose in our organization, our even education organization, so we will have various roles. So someone will be the roles maybe the assistant professors are there, associate professors are there, then maybe speak about the professors, but maybe in educational organizations, the roles we have is that of a faculty, that of a program coordinator, that of an HOD, okay, also that of an admin. Yes, and based on their roles, based on these roles, whether it is the admin, whether it is the faculty, their responsibilities will be different for each people. Like it's the duty of the faculty to for what to teach the students and also to conduct exams. Okay, and yeah, to conduct exams, to set the question papers, to check the evaluate the students. Okay, so and it will be also the responsibility of the admin. Now it will be the responsibility of the admin to like enroll the students, to check if the new admissions are there. Yes, all this administrative part will be taken by the admin part. Now we have the HOD. So we have HOD of because every faculty takes care only of the individual subjects which they teach. Suppose I teach IT governance in your class. Okay, so whatever the I'm only responsible for evaluating the students of the MCA 5 for now, and then I am also responsible for setting the question paper and evaluating you people. I am also responsible for teaching you. Okay, similarly, I have other batches too, so I am only responsible for my papers. But such in that way, there will be other faculties also who will be assigned with some different papers. Now, who will take the entire concept into consideration? Who have to monitor? Who will monitor the entire process? That if there will be separate department HODs will be there, right? Who will be responsible the for in monitoring the things, whether everything is going on track or not, or whether something is missing. So that is basically how the roles and responsibilities of the people are defined by governance. Okay, next is authorization metrics for the roles. So authorization, so some people are authorized to do something, right? So based on the roles, so based on the role of the faculty, some of the authorization are given, right? So our authority, suppose the faculty have the authority to check your student details, like we have the authority to do that, to check your marks and everything. So maybe email ID. So we also have the authority to evaluate you. And so these are the things that will be present in the authorization method. So and communication rules and escalation hierarchy. So communication rules, suppose that you people. So you see, you people are finding now the students, right? You cannot directly communicate with the dean of the university, dean of our department, or dean of the engineering and science department, right? You people, you will have to follow a hierarchy. Okay, you people, you being students, what you will do, you will report to the faculty. being faculty also, we don't have the authority to directly go to the dean and communicate it. Okay, so what we will do, we communicate it to the HOD or the program coordinator. In our case, in our college system, it's a program coordinator, and then the program coordinators of different departments will generally inform the dean. They will communicate the problem to the dean. And similarly, same process only will be followed. Same hierarchy will only be followed. So if the dean want to convey something, he convey to the program coordinator. The program coordinator then he will convey the message to the faculties, and from the faculties, the students will get the information. So this is the communication flow, you can say. So you cannot have, you directly don't have the authority to directly speak to the team. So this is the hierarchy in any organization. Suppose if any IT organization also join, so all the like the developers and testers, they will report to their respective team leaders. Now the team leaders, they will inform their problems or their progress to the managers. Okay, and the managers will be informing it to the senior managers. So how this is the things work in the hierarchy. The developers that they directly cannot communicate their problems to the chief information officer, right? So they have to follow a hierarchy. Next is target workflow for a process. So what if these things are done? Governance, why the process is carried out? Because we have to find like whether the objective set by the organization even so or not. What is the target you want to achieve? So if you go for any project commission also, you have to decide like whether the project on uh, track or not. So you whether it's like whether you are like being slow in the project and how much you have progressed, whether you are facing problem, you have there should be a workflow for that everything. Now you see and enables people to carry out their roles and responsibilities. So basically, this governance will allow people to carry out their roles and responsibilities. Okay, proper governance there. So I told you like the if the proper rules are there, we faculties, our duty is to teach you students and also get and evaluate you. This is the roles and responsibilities. And similarly, what is the management process? Demonstrate is basically the implementation of all the governance processes. So you can see here the governance process defines a management process, implements the work. So whatever the things are decided in the governance process, suppose the rules and regulation will be followed by the management process. Okay, so you can see here the management process also implements the correct measurement and control. Control technique that provide practitioners the independence to carry out their roles and responsibilities. So we don't have to like to remember this entire big huge complicated thing. So you just remember that management is nothing but the implementation of the governance rules or regulations. Okay, so you can just write it in your own terms. Now you can see here a diagram is there. So you can see all the business and the strategy goals. So we know every business will have some strategies. Okay, so strategy and business goal. Similarly, this business goal should be mapped with the IT goals, right? IT governance. So this IT governance. So you can see this is IT governance. What it does, it governs the IT governance, right? It does governs the IT governance. So under this IT governance, what were the things that will be there? Like what are the decisions that needs to be taken by the IT team that benefit the organization? Like IT governance is basically anything related to the IT, information technology, right? All the measures and controls, and same thing. This will be so you can say this is reporting. So it's a basically by process. Okay, so once we are getting the business strategy, okay, and then we are passing it to here, and then whatever it should be mapping with the IT governance. So you can see here this management structure decision, whatever is taken, it should directly affect the management structure. Similarly, the measurement also, and we have the process activities and process policies, procedures, and the process activities, and there, and we have lastly the management use. So these kinds of diagrams, you can see this is known as the management governance right versus management. So you can see now you have the idea this governance will basically focus on the roles and responsibilities, right? So that means it will focus on the authority to take decisions because we have the authorization metrics here, right, in the governance. And basically, whatever things you have decided in governance that will be implemented or followed by the management. Whatever rules you have decided will be followed by the management. Okay. Now you can see is there balance scorecard. So balance scorecard you can check here. You have here the measurement. So here we have the measures, right? So you have how do you measure the strategy is successful? So you have some measures known as a balance scorecard, KGIs and KPIs. We have already discussed these things when we were going through this was just a revision class. So you can see balance scorecard means a performance measurement system that considers the financial measures, measures, customer business process, and all the learning measures. So you can just think of it of like your report card, right, which you used to get in school. I think nowadays also you get on the mark sheet. But when we were in school, you used to get your mark sheet how do you used to get your marks like of every subject, right? So you can think of this balance scorecard as the same thing, but here instead of giving the marks for different subjects we have the consideration for other measures, like we have the like what are the financial how the financial is going, how much financial uh, profit is there or not, and how much we are like what to say spending the amount. So all these things will be involved, right? Will be present in the balance scorecard. All the business processes, the amount spent on this things will be written. Next is the key goal indicators. So it's basically can see key goal indicators means how do you basically it's related to the predefined goals. So before we start up take up any project, we have to decide the goals. I think by now you are clear, right? Whenever we take up a project, whenever we go for a research or like we take up a project, suppose whenever the organization will be thought of making a project like they want to implement new feature in the WhatsApp organization, sorry, in the WhatsApp, okay, in the WhatsApp application. So before only it was created for only chatting, right? Only people used to send messages. Then people because otherwise, if you I don't know if people have got the things or not. If we send messages, normal text messages, they are used to cost us money. And otherwise, we have to like pay some message pack. People used to go for that. When we were in college, we followed that one. So later, WhatsApp came into picture. So without paying any money, just with the use of internet, we were able to send messages to our close contacts, right? Uh, so this before any new features are very before any new features are like added, they have to think about like what will be the goal of the adding the feature. What is the goal of having the application? So before came up with WhatsApp, they have to like thought of the goal, like what can be the goal of this application. So they maybe thought like without spending money they can just chat with each other. Maybe they without spending any money they can go for video call because they using WhatsApp nowadays we don't require a separate app for doing video calls, right? Through WhatsApp only we can do. Even I think messengers is also there. So a lot of otherwise people used to before a few years back people used to use the different apps, right, for group calling and everything. But everything nowadays can be done in WhatsApp. You can go for video calling. You can go for even calling, right? So this thing. So before they plan for anything, they thought of the that what should be our goal. So that is the key goal indicator. For this purpose, they have to question that what needs to be accomplished. So before they take up the project, before the organization take up the project, so they have to think about like what will this application or what will this project be helpful for? Okay, and what needs to be accomplished or what needs to be done in the project. Next is key performance indicator. So you can see that they show if we are doing things in the right direction to achieve the goals. So whatever the goals you have set in the key goal indicators, like if I define the predefined goals, the key performance indicator you have to measure yourself, right? Whether you are going in the right direction or not. So just for that purpose, so suppose let us take a small example. Whenever you will be in your like in the next year probably for your major project, right? So when you go for your major project, you have to obviously like once you choose a project, you will be doing your project. Okay, so once in the semester, once or twice in the semester, we will go for evaluation. Okay, so like you have to give presentation of the project of whatever you are doing. Okay, so why that is done so that we get the idea. So you also you can get the feedback whether you whatever goals you have, whatever project you are doing is going in the right direction or not, whether the implementation is really occurring or whether you are just not doing anything. So you know at which level you are standing. Similarly, these things are carried out in organizations too, like they are having meetings every time. So we have studied about the meetings and auditing purpose also. Meetings and they know exactly and they will get feedbacks of they will give presentation of the project and they get feedbacks so that the management also do understand like where they are heading to or whether there is lacking somewhere. Okay, so there, so this is known as key performance indicator. Now, any confusion with this governance versus management? Any confusion? Yes, any confusion? Okay. So moving to so IT governance concept. So you can this so you can see this MIT Sloan School for Center for Information Systems and Research, that is CSIR. After they like gave a five key decisions regarding IT. Okay, so this is first is the what are the five decisions are there to be governed. First is the principle of digitization. Second is enterprise architecture. Then IT infrastructure strategies, business application needs, and IT investment and prioritization. So as you go check from below, you can find that IT investment and prioritization. Okay, this is the last one, right? So you may be very much clear that it basically involves the all the cost of the basically involves the cost of the entire project, right, in the IT. But so this IT investment will be totally like dependent on the application needs, infrastructures, enterprise architecture, and principle of digitization. Why? Because obviously cost will be involved with your cost will change. Cost will rely on this business application. If business application needs changes, your cost will also change. If your business application is like very uh, of a very high quality or like you demand lots of resources, then obviously investment will increase, right? IT cost will increase. Right now, so let's go for as we go from below to above, you can see that suppose for this IT investment, these four principles like four decision, IT decisions are involved. Okay. Similarly, for business needs, business application needs will be dependent on this IT infrastructure, um, enterprise, and the principal also. Similarly, this is the way workflow we should remember. Similarly, IT infrastructure will be based on the enterprise architecture and the principal, and the enterprise will be dependent on the principal. So you can see what is the principle for digitization. It's like high level statement on how IT is to be used, driven by the business principles. For example, the operating model. So you can see all the high level statements like which to think of software engineering also. So you can think of like we should follow. First, we have to decide which model we want to follow, right? Model means I'm talking about the SDLC here. So which you want to go because based on the project you have to decide like which model you can choose for. Whether you will choose for waterfall, whether you will choose for iterative, whether you will choose for any agile or whether you will choose for prototyping. So what you need, you will basically depend on this principle. Okay, this basically depend on the project. So that is known as the principle for digitization. Second is the enterprise architecture. So whatever the so you can say organizing logic for data application and infrastructure captured in a set of policies relationships. Now once you have done with the principle of digitization that you have chosen the model, you have to think of the application and also we also have to think of the policies or procedures that will be governing. Okay, the standard. So you have to make the technical choices also. So how it will be running this thing. So this is known as the enterprise architecture. So how like we have to go for the planning part, right? Once we have chose. So that is the enterprise architecture. Next is the IT infrastructure strategy. So all the things IT infrastructure, what it can be, whether it can be your any because when you have a project, so how many persons or how many resources I mean the persons also, and suppose how many teams will be there and how what kind of persons will be involved, whether how many developers will be there, how many testers will be there, requirement gatherer, how many system designers, how many designers will be there, or how many machines will be required, what kind of operating system will be required, falls under this IT infrastructure strategy. Okay, and it will totally depend on the enterprise architecture too, because we have decided the policy. Because based on this policy, only this infrastructure we can find out, right? Next is business application needs. So now specifying the business need for like purchased or internally developed IT applications. So what is the we have now decided on the number of people, we have decided the number of machines, but now we have to find out the whatever whatever business need, how it will profit the organization, because business means it is only like they only think about profit, right? So that is how they don't understand IT, but they have to uh, think of the needs, right? What is the need of the hour? Let's go back to few years before WhatsApp came in picture. They thought of like why we need a software for us, why we need a software for chatting, how it will be benefit for the people. So they have to take into consideration that one. Okay, with this one now they have paying money, and if we are not able in normal messaging, where if we're sending normal messages, we are not aware whether that person is we know that is delivered, but because we get the delivery report, but we are not really we are not able to understand whether they have seen the message or not, or when he was online. So lots of things are involved in it. But in we go for this WhatsApp, that thing it got its importance. Right now we know exactly the person has seen the message or not. That's the thing we have. Next is the IT investment and prioritization. So you can see how much the entire project will be costing. So it will be things and how much priority it has, which part of the project. So all these things are done in the IT investment and prioritization. Okay, so this was all the five key IT decisions we have. So whatever I said, you can see, you can also have this one. What is this? Effective IT governance. You can see here a thing. Okay, metrics is there, example of an effective IT governance. So you can see all the IT decisions, IT principles, IT infrastructure, architecture, business application, and IT investment. And these are known as I think the models are there. These various models: business monarchy, IT monarchy, feudal, federal, and duopoly. And where these things will be used. So in federal, we go for the this is done by the executive committee. Okay, and similarly decision is given by the duopoly. So you will get about this models over here only. Okay, so you are studying this IT model. So you can see business monarchy will be done by the top managers. IT monarchy is by done given by IT specialists. Feudal is given by this each business unit takes so its own decisions, and you can see federal also. You can see this combination of the corporate and the business units. And what do you mean by duopoly? It's the IT group and one other group, which could be the corporate top management or the leaders. And last one is the anarchy. I think anarchy is not mentioned here. So basically applies to individuals or small groups of people taking independent decisions. So here you cannot find anarchy, but we have this five only. Okay, so you can have this British monarchy, IT monarchy, feudal, federal, and you. So you know this is done by the top management. Okay, so this is done by the, and obviously IT people will be there. So obviously you have this chief information officer and everything. So please go through this thing. So as you have exam from 16th, right? So basically follow this one. It will be enough for you. When I haven't prepared the question paper yet, and this diagram is important. This diagram is important. Though if we have MCQs, so I don't know, won't be very helpful. But yes, you have please go through each and every line so that. And you cannot expect that same kinds of MCQs like whatever self-assessment questions you are studying. I'll give you that question. So there will be other questions also from. Once you read this SLM, you will understand. Okay? Now tell me if you have any confusion. Shubham, your name is appearing twice. I don't know why. You joined, I think, twice with different phones, devices. Okay, so thank you everyone. So you all can leave now and happy Diwali. Okay, so I'm ending the meeting.